Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellencies, co-chairs, honorable heads of states and governments, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to represent my country at this historic summit. At the outset, allow me to congratulate you for convening this gathering and to express my sincere appreciation to both distinguished co-chairs of intergovernmental negotiations of post-2015 developmental agenda for their skillful leadership and tireless efforts. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development offers a compelling vision, promising peace and prosperity to the peoples of the world through global partnership to ensure that we live and manage the resources of our planet in a sustainable manner. His Excellency President Ghani asked me to convey to you that the agenda is synthesis of the past efforts as articulated in key UN conferences as an inspired leap of aspiration into the future. We therefore pay tribute to the work of several generations of thinkers and practitioners who devoted their lives to the understanding and changing of economic, social, and environmental dimensions of development. The MDGs, sadly yet to be met by some countries, focused our attention on result-oriented development, forcing governments and their developmental partners to think through the linkages between policy, delivery, measurement, monitoring, accountability, and voice in public resource mobilization and management. Yes, as President Ghani reminds us, the unfinished MDG agenda in poorest countries in the unintended consequences of focusing on some goals requires that we pay careful attention to learning and acting on the lessons drawn. Among those lessons is that while the UN system does an excellent job in setting global agendas, its developmental machinery requires major transformation if it is to be catalyst for the 2030 agenda. The 5 pillars of the 2030 agenda, however, require systematic attention to regional cooperation and coordination. Where regional barriers to trade transit between Central and South Asia, to take just one example, to open up, tens of millions of people will be lifted from poverty to living with dignity. Even more significantly, the specter caused by the radicalism and terrorism over our lives will be lifted where there be true and meaningful cooperation in the arena of peace and security. Afghanistan began to pursue its MDGs almost half a decade later than other member states. Based on our 2005 to 2015 MDG report, we have a mixed achievements and setbacks. While poverty rate has remained more or less constant for several years, we have made considerable progress in primary education, gender equality, and women empowerment. Child and maternal mortality rates have been reduced. A big part of Afghanistan's transformation decade, 2015-2025, coincides with the 2030 developmental agenda. Afghanistan will remain committed to developing strategies, policies to integrate our national developmental agenda with the 2030 development agenda. My government's efforts to provide villages across the country with a level of basic services for health, education, clean water, and improved agriculture through Citizens' Charter tops the national development agenda. Afghanistan has been making strides to become an economic hub in the region and to establish corridors that connect people, goods, and resources and create opportunities for investment development and economic growth. I am grateful to see that in the agenda, the importance of implementing a special and differential treatment for the LDCs in accordance with the World Trade Organization agreements. The adoption of the Addis Ababa Action Agenda was a milestone. We also support interconnectivity with other relevant programs, including the Istanbul Program of Action for Least Developed Countries, the Vienna Program of Action for Landlocked Developing Countries. And we agree with the notion that the responsibility of follow-up in review of the implementation of the 2030 Agenda lies primarily with the states. Excellencies, in conclusion, allow me to express Afghanistan's firm belief that in order to achieve the ambitious goals of the new agenda, a strong political commitment and revitalized global partnership and cooperation are essential. I would like to reaffirm our strong commitment and dedication to implementing this agenda and our unwavering effort in fulfilling all its goals and targets by 2030. Thank you.